Hello, welcome again. We are covering the subject compressible fluid flow for civil services main IFS and GATE aerospace exam. The next topic is temperature ratio across show. So from state equation we have T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 into rho 1 by rho 2, and P2 by P1 and rho 2 by rho 1 we have derived in the previous video in terms of Mach number, and these are equation number 12 and 13. So this is your rho 2 by rho 1, and this is your P2 by P1. So this is okay. So we can put these equations here and find out T2 by T1. Okay, so this is the temperature ratio across show. And now next topic is entropy change across show. The formula for entropy change across shock is S2 minus S1 Cp ln T2 by T1 minus R ln P2 by P1. Again we can put the value of T2 by T1 and P2 by P1, and then T2 by T1 is this and P2 by P1 is in the previous equation. So the entropy change will be in terms of Mach number, but this is very long formula or very difficult formula to remember. So we'll drive a simple formula for entropy change also, because in normal shock table this entropy change is not given, so we'll drive the simple formula also. But if we put here m1 is equal to 1, then the entropy change is 0. So it means it is a reversible process. So when Mach number is 1 before shock, and after shock the Mach number will also remain 1, and there will be no entropy change. It means, and if m1 is less than 1, then entropy change is negative, so it means the process is not possible. For subsonic flow the entropy change is not possible. If m1 is more than 1, then there is positive entropy change. Okay, so it also defines the second law. This is possible, the shock is possible when there is positive change in entropy. Okay, and Mach number is when the Mach number is more than 1. So reading this out, equation 16 demonstrates that entropy change across the normal shock is also a function of m1 only. However, it shows that if m1 is 1, s2 minus s1 is equal to 0. If m1 is less than 1, then s2 minus s1 less than 0, and if m1 is greater than 1, s2 minus s1 is greater than 0. Therefore, since it is necessary that s2 minus s1 should be equal to or greater than 0, from the second law the upstream Mach number m1 must be greater than or equal to 1. Here is another example of how the second law tells us the direction in which the physical process will proceed. So the normal shock will proceed from higher Mach number to lower Mach number, not from lower Mach higher supersonic Mach number to subsonic Mach number, not from subsonic to supersonic Mach number. If m1 is subsonic, then 16 says that entropy decreases across the normal shock, which is impossible. Okay. So the flow should not be subsonic for the shock to occur from the second law also, or from the entropy law also. So now about stagnation, now we will drive a simple formula also. Here we have a very long formula in terms of m1, so we will drive the simple formula for entropy change also. First of all, we will consider the energy equation. So this is the simplest of energy equation, Cpt1 plus u1 square by 2 is equal to Cpt2 plus T2 u2 square by 2. So this we know that Cpt plus U square by 2 is your CPT load. So we can put this whole term as CPT load 1 and put this as CPT load 2. So T01 is equal to T02. So this is your, it means the stagnation temperature remains constant before and after shock. Okay, so that is the first concept to drive the simplest formula, that stagnation temperature remains constant before and after shock. Or we can say the total temperature before shock is equal to total temperature after shock, or total enthalpy before shock is equal to, suppose we have this condition, fluid element before shock having Mach number more than 1 and initial states are M1, P1, T1 and S1. Now we'll bring this fluid element to zero velocity, keeping the entropy same. Okay, so this is the thing. If we keep the entropy same, we can do this. Then it is an isentropic process. So entropy of this, the stagnation temperature T01 is there. Okay. Now if we consider this state, uh, here the Mach number is M2 less than 1, and the block again block again is brought to rest isentropically, so that the stagnation conditions are maintained. So here the stagnation temperature is T2 and the process is isentropic. So entropy of this and this is same, entropy of this and this is same, because they perform isentropic process. Okay, and we know, we have derived that the stagnation temperature before shock and stagnation temperature after shock is same. So now if we consider this state and this state, its entropy is equal to this and its entropy is equal to this. Whatever the entropy change will take place between these two states, same entropy change will take place this and moving this and this state. So if we calculate the entropy change of this state and this state, then that will be the entropy change of the state across shock. Or we can say this state is S1A, sorry 1A, and this is your 2A. This state is 1A and this is 2A. So entropy change here is S2A minus S1A. Same formula, but here the temperature is T2A or T naught 2. Sorry, here the temperature T2A or T naught 2, and here the temperature T1A or T naught 1. Okay, and here the pressure, because it is stagnation condition, so here pressure is also stagnation pressure or P2A, and here the stagnation pressure is P1. Okay, so the formula will become S2A minus S1A is equal to Cp ln T2A by T1A minus R ln T2A by P2A by P1A. Now P2A is your P02 and P1A is your P01, and T2A is your T0, both are same, so this term will be 0. So entropy change will be minus R ln P0 by P1. So this is the simplest formula you can remember for entropy change. The ln of pressure ratio multiplied by R minus is equal to entropy change. And you have to remember this for solving the questions of entropy across the shock, because it is not in the table. Okay. So, or we can find out the stagnation pressure ratio across the shock if we know the entropy change. Okay. So, or P02 will be less than P01, because there is stagnation pressure goes across the shock, but stagnation temperature remain same. Okay. So these are the basics of normal shock relation. Now we will drive the Rankine-Hagner equation in the next video also.